Bob's Reloading Tips. Today I'm going to cover charging and bullet seating, the final stage in our reloading process. Now, I've got a standard RCBS Uniflow powder measure here, and I've made a couple of modifications to it. One, there's a micrometer adjuster. This adjusts the volume, the chamber here, and it has a couple of advantages. I can make a very small change here and note it, whereas before it was a little bit coarse with the adjuster that comes with it. And also, when I've got a weight set up with a certain powder, I can make a note of my readings, put them in my reloading book here. I keep one of these. Everything to do with reloading goes in there, so I can refer back to it. The second modification I made is a powder baffle, and that, as you can see here, simple bit of angled metal with two holes here, slots. Put that in there, and what that does is ensure that there's a constant amount of powder pressure on the rotor. Doesn't matter how full or empty the hopper is, the pressure on the rotor is the same, and that eliminates another possible area of error. Now, these measures are very good. You can use two methods to charge your cases. You can take your case to the measure like this, charge it, put it back, and every 10th case you weigh it and check that you're getting the weight that you expected. However, due to the variance in these devices, you can get a weight difference of 0.1 of a grain, and remember that's plus or minus a grain. So across say a 50 round load, the powder charge could vary by 0.2 of a grain. Now that probably doesn't matter for plinking and close-up stuff, but I shoot at 1200 yards with a 308, so I need to eliminate every area that could cause a variable. So what I do is load and weigh each case individually. So I set up my scales for the weight I want, which in this case is 47 grains. Put my I'm loading Vargut today. Here. Get that in there. So the trick to weighing each individual load is to set the powder measure to throw under the charge that you want, and use a powder trickler here to bring the weight up like this until your scale balances. The other tool you'll need to do this is a powder funnel with a drop tube. This is the RCBS version. It comes with detachable nozzles here for various calibers. Got a rubber washer around there that seals the tube. Now what the tube does is allow the powder to distribute and drop. Obviously it's a 4-inch tube. Gravity means that a weight that say would fill up to half the neck here will go down to the shoulder because it's slightly compressed. You can try it without, but I don't recommend it. You'll find that the powder will bridge in the neck of the funnel here, and then you have to start tapping like this, so it adds time. This isn't obviously this isn't the fastest way to reload cases, but you know that each load is accurate. Now what I'm going to do first of all, charge up my trickler. I can do that from here. And what I do is just make sure the powder covers the tube here, you can see. Secondly, my scales are set for 47 grains, as I've said. My measure is set to throw under that. Now we'll just check that is actually the case. Now I do recommend, if you're using this method, you put your scale pan against the nozzle here, because if you don't, the powder will bounce out and go all over the bench. So let's put that on the scales. Now I must admit to cheating a bit here, because it does take a little bit of time to set this up. My balance is hovering just below the 0 mark on my scales, so I know I'm under 47 grains, and now I'm going to use my trickler here to bring the scale up to 0. Now as I've just charged the trickler, it'll take a little while here. Here it goes, a few more turns, exactly 0. Put my drop tube on the case like this. Charge the case. Now get a method of working here, because believe me, if you get confused, you leave the funnel on the case that you've just charged, put another charge in, of course it won't go in, and you've then got to empty it. So move the funnel, charge the tray, weigh just under. Now that my trickler is charged up with powder, it's very quick. There we go. So not much time with the trickler, and that's what you want. If you weigh under too much, then you'll be trickling forever, if you'll excuse the expression. So once you get a rhythm going, it's very easy to do. Now because my camera wasn't charged up, I've completed these 50 rounds here, so they're all charged with exactly the same weight in powder. Didn't take me that long. Now you may prefer to charge directly from the powder measure, that's up to you. But I like to eliminate as many errors as possible in this area. So that's how I do it. So you're going to need to do it, drop tube, and the good thing about this RCBS funnel is that you get different nozzles for different calibers. You get a good spread so that you can just fit that in there and load whatever you want. And it does work, because if you look in one of the reloading books, they've got a shot of a case with the same amount of powder in. One was directly from the measure here, and it's virtually to the top of the neck, and the other one is with a drop tube where it's settled just at the shoulder. So recommend this, and of course you've eliminated another area of possible error on your reloads.